Hello people, going on with our content in the book. Let's go to page 69, okay? Let's repeat. To be fond of. To motion. Motion. In spite of. Although. I will. Despite. To waste, a catalog, second hand, to deliver, rotation, revolution, to move, a movement, vehicle. Okay guys, to be fond of means to like something, okay? For example, if I can say, I like lasagna, I am fond of lasagna. It means the same thing, okay? To motion. Guys, the verbs to motion and to move, they are similar, okay? If you translate, the translation is the same to Portuguese, okay? But to motion means to make a signal with your hands or with your head, with your face. Okay, to motion is like to ask somebody to make a movement. Okay? To move means to change places. Okay, move from one place to another. Okay? To motion, no. It's just to make a movement with your hand or with your head, okay, to ask somebody to make a movement, okay? Motion is a formal request, okay, to a judge or to a person in a higher position than you in your company, okay? A motion is a formal request. The words in spite of, although, despite, and even though, they all have the same meaning, okay? It's on the black, here, on this black square, here, it's written, okay? They all have the same meaning. It means despite the fact that, okay? For example, we are not having lessons although we are having some web lessons, okay? So, sometimes we need to change a little bit the construction. So, despite we are not having presence lessons, we are having web lessons and live lessons online, okay? And these four words mean the same. In spite of, although, even though, despite, okay? A wheel, guys, is in a car we have normally 4 wheels, okay? A wheel is not the black part but the inside part of the tire. So the black part is called tire and the inside part is the wheel, okay? To waste is when you use something too much, okay, and you don't think about the effect that has on, I don't know, on nature maybe, okay, or when you buy too much food, okay, and then the food goes bad, you have to throw it in the garbage. This is to waste food, okay? Or when you use something without care, okay, for example, if you use your car to walk like 500 meters, you are wasting petrol, you are wasting money, okay? A catalog is just like Portuguese, okay? There are some brands here in Brazil that sell by catalog, like Avon, okay? Second hand means used. We normally use this term, especially when we're talking about buying used car, okay? So second-hand car, that's how we say it. Or when we use clothes that when you buy, clothes that used to belong to another person, you are buying second-hand clothes, okay? To deliver, I believe everybody knows, it's the verb of the word delivery, which is widely used in Brazil. For example, there is a very famous service called iFood, which is a food delivery company, okay? Okay, rotation is turning around, okay, a fixed point, and revolution is a circular movement. Okay, so rotation and revolution are the two movements that the Earth, our planet, does. We have the rotation, which is going on a fixed point, and we have the revolution, which is around the sun. Okay, these are the two movements that the Earth makes. Okay. Okay. The verb to move and movement I have explained when I explained motion. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. And a vehicle is anything used for transportation. A car, a bus, a train, a truck, okay? A carriage. Good? So, let's repeat. He has been very fond of walking in the evening during the summer. In spite of the weather, we will be having a picnic at the weekend. She used to buy clothes from a catalog, but now she prefers to buy second-hand clothes to help the environment. Even though the company promised, they did not deliver on time. The wheels were in motion and the new vehicle moved. Okay? Guys, let's practice. What did the politician promise with the motion he planned? The politician promised that he would deliver a new health center in the city with the motion he planned. Are you fond of anyone special in your life? Yes, I am fond of my son in my life. Have you ever bought any second-hand clothes? Yes, I have bought some second-hand clothes before. What has Charlotte been looking for? Charlotte has been looking for a good second-hand car. In spite of the difficulties, do you hope that your country has a good future? Yes, in spite of the difficulties, I hope that my country has a good future. What are the other expressions we can use instead of despite of? The expressions we can use instead of despite are although, in spite of, and even though. Are there many letters delivered to this school every week? Yes, there are many letters delivered to this school every week. Why is Martin motioning at me? Martin is motioning at you because he has kept a seat for you at the front of the concert. Does our body language include many different motions? Yes, our body language includes many different motions. People, just an observation here, the word include is wrong, okay? Include. Please correct it. It's wrong in the question and in the answer, okay? Are mothers and fathers fond of their children? Yes, mothers and fathers are fond of their children. Do you know what are the two movements of Earth? Yes, I know the two movements of Earth are, they are rotation and revolution. Do you have to make many movements when you are dancing? Yes, I have to make many movements when I am dancing. Are you fond of doing what? What are you fond of doing in the evening? I am fond of reading a book in the evening. Would you go to the beach even though the weather was bad? Yes, I would go to the beach even though the weather was bad. How many wheels does your vehicle have? My vehicle has 4 wheels. Do students try hard to learn English in spite of their difficulties? Yes, students try hard to learn English in spite of their difficulties. Have humans been wasting a lot of water around the world in the last 50 years? Yes, humans have been wasting a lot of water around the world in the last 50 years. What do people normally buy from a catalog? People normally buy makeup and beauty products from catalogs. Are products from catalogs normally delivered to the customer's house? Yes, products from catalogs are normally delivered to the customer's house. Do politicians try to pass motions in Parliament? Yes, politicians try to pass motions in Parliament. Are you going to move from your country in the future? No, I am not going to move from my country in the future. What movement do you make when you want to make a question? The movement I make when I want to make a question is to raise my hand. Okay, guys? So now we have dictation 6. Okay, pause the video now and go to page, let me see where you do it, page 62, okay? Let's go. The school children were gazing at, the school children were gazing at the marvelous statue, when they glimpsed a small animal, behind it, full stop. Behind it, full stop. Repeating. The school children were gazing at the marvelous statue when they glimpsed a small animal behind it. Full stop. The disastrous viaduct accident. The disastrous viaduct accident was not as bad as the dreadful bridge event. The dreadful bridge event. Full stop. Repeating. The disastrous viaduct accident was not as bad as the dreadful bridge event. Full stop. The guidebook. The guidebook seemed to belong to the old man sat over there. To the old man sat over there. Who said he was? Who said he was on a luxury cruise? Full stop. On a luxury cruise. Full stop. Repeating. The guidebook seemed to belong to the old man sat over there. Who said he was on a luxury cruise? Full stop. She doubted if the border control at the airport would stop her at customs. So she put the money inside her suitcase. Full stop. Inside her suitcase. Full stop. Repeating. She doubted if the border control at the airport would stop her at customs. So she put the money inside her suitcase. Full stop. She looked underneath the blanket and saw the cat asleep there. Full stop. And saw the cat asleep there. Full stop. Repeating. She looked underneath the blanket and saw the cat asleep there. Full stop. Anna looked ahead and saw the homemade cake on the table. By the window. And it looked beautiful. And very tasty. Full stop. And very tasty. Full stop. Repeating. Anna looked ahead and saw the homemade cake on the table by the window. And it looked beautiful and very tasty. Full stop. Yours sensually and yours faithfully are two ways of ending formal application letters. Ending formal application letters. Full stop. Repeating. Yours sensually and yours faithfully are two ways of ending formal application letters. Full stop. Babies like to be rocked sideways. Babies like to be rocked sideways, comma, forwards and backwards forwards and backwards when they are going to sleep. Full stop. When they are going to sleep. Full stop. Repeating. Babies like to be rocked sideways, comma, forwards and backwards when they are going to sleep. Full stop. Guys, that was today's lesson. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know. Bye-bye. See ya.